So, as I was asking, who the fuck is Hallowed Word Month?
The Hallowed War Month is an anagram for the man who sold the world.
The man who sold the world?
Yep, that's basically Logan.
So Logan.
Oh, so Logan!
Logan's been helping us out the entire
So it's
time.
Logan.
He's the one that's been helping you guys out. Alright, so that's the first question. What's next?
Who's the Overlord? Show me a picture. I want to see.
There is no quote-unquote overlord. The overlord is a concept.
Wait,
Oh.
there was no leader ever?
I mean,
Wait, so how the
that-
fuck did Reinhardt get in a fist fight with a concept?
Now, that's the interesting part, isn't it? Like, in order for you guys to understand that, we have to go back to the beginning. And the thing is, the way you were gonna learn about it was because at some point later on, you were literally going to time travel to the past and have the opportunity to change a few events. I even set that up from the very first session. If you remember, in the very first session, when you guys gathered up randomly at some point, Andre got up from the table and fired off a lightning outside the window. And when you guys questioned, like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, you know, just doing stuff. That was basically her reacting to you guys traveling back in time and doing something to help you.
What? Really? Fuck me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tech.
Alright, so we were
The
discovering...
Overlord is a concept, but how did half the world get blown
Okay,
up by
I'm
Reinhardt?
just gonna
Oh.
cut in here and like assume that like the Overlord, as much as it is a concept, there's also some sort of like non-corporeal collective will of like something.
Yes, Sibi, you are sort of correct. Should I just start from the beginning and explain it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay then. So basically,
sure
when
to
you were
put an
gonna go
epic
back in
slideshow
time,
in
you
this
were
part.
going to go back to when the war between the dragons was winding down. So during that period is when the other demon races were starting to come out into their own, but they were still having issues because they can't fight the dragons, right? The dragons are all powerful. Sure, the dragons are fighting each other, but that doesn't really mean much because they destroy everything around them. A specific dragon comes into play, one that is a harbinger of death and pestilence, disease,
Grima?
destruction, and death. And basically, you can guess which dragon that is. That's Grima, the entity that you guys were hearing about and interfering with. And if you remember, he had a way of having vessels. So what happened is he basically destroyed a lot of the demon clans at the time that were basically banded together in order to fight him and kill him, while the civilian type demons, you know, were being evacuated. At that point, actually, I have a picture of Reinhardt from that time. Give me a sec. I'm gonna post it for you guys.
So wait, the Overlord
so you can see
Reinhardt
how
sword was
fucking
Grima?
different he was at the time. So during that time, there was two demons that basically distinguished themselves in the battle versus the dragon. One of them was Reinhardt. The other one was Reinhardt's best friend, who would later become known as the Overlord. But here's the thing. When they were trying to kill the dragon, they realized that no demon can kill a dragon. It's impossible. I've already told you, but dragons work outside the normal cycle. They don't have demon souls, they work differently. So because of different complicated reasons that there's probably no need to go into that right now, they couldn't kill him. So the Dragon of Pestilence pretty much was laughing in their faces and was gonna kill the entire fucking demon world. So that's about the time where you guys step in. And basically, you have no choice. If you want to survive and head back to where you came from, whether you like it or not, you have to fight the dragon. It's not really a matter of choice. So you join the fight, you actually manage to beat him. The problem is the dragon still cannot die. Even though you defeat him, something the demons can do, you still can't kill him. So
you
he
have the ceiling
enters
inside something.
Reinhardt's best friend's body and goes into slumber for like hundreds and thousands of years, until one day he awakens as quote-unquote the Overlord. And that's where at that point Reinhardt has set up the Age of Kings. So the quote-unquote Overlord goes and slays all the kings that were part of Reinhardt's power. So Reinhardt's immediately wounded. Then when they begin fighting, the Overlord actually takes Reinhardt's daughter he takes her prisoner and forces Reinhardt into submission, even though he can't kill Reinhardt. So Reinhardt basically agrees to become one of his general, and in exchange for his daughter's, well, his daughter not getting fucking killed. But as you know, he still starts doing shit behind his back, basically. So yeah, basically Reinhardt's whole deal is he undermines everybody who's loyal to the quote-unquote overlord, and he's basically making sure that through all that, humanity is never wiped out. Why? Because humans are the only ones that can kill the dragon, and he's the only one that knows about the dragon. So he's basically nurturing you and making sure that you guys don't die until humans are ready to kill him. Because at the time when you first face him, you are not ready to kill him yet. You are only strong enough to take part of the dragon's soul. Now here's the thing, I said they work outside the cycle. So when you fight the dragon as a demon, you can't do shit. But if you're a human, you can take pieces of the dragon's soul. And that's basically how you guys were going to level up without losing your humanity. Basically, think of it this way. There is a limiter set on humans. You can only become this strong. But under certain conditions, if you unlock your true potential and fight dragons, you can go above and beyond. And that's how the first gods were made. And the first gods, human gods, were made by Reinhardt. So when you ask the question, who's your daddy? Reinhardt is the one who literally created humanity in order to fight the dragon one day.
Oh my god,
Who's your
Alicia was
daddy?
sort of right.
Wait. So no, actually I wasn't. So
Oh, we were all-
here. So basically, like the way Vendrick was going about becoming a god was wrong. You can't do that through human souls, but you have to do it through dragon souls.
Yep. And
No, he
here's
was
the
trying
thing.
to become a god through
currently,
demon souls.
Vendrick
Check.
was working on a way to solve the demon issue of, well, the souls are limited. Let's see if we can't fix this problem, and then everything's fine, right? Guess what? He's basically discovering the hot water, because at some point he was going to figure out that if you mess with the DNA, you are going to create an infinite source of energy called humanity. And Reinhardt was going to approach Vendrick at that point and laugh at him and congratulate him that he literally discovered what Reinhardt did thousands and thousands of years ago.
Check.
Guess what? The unlimited
I'm
font of
gonna
energy
become a-
you were part of before.
If you remember your first meeting
You're
with
an
Reinhardt,
idiot.
he was very open about his view on humanity. First of all, he among many, pretty much his entire demon kind, like don't give a shit about you because you're weak babies compared to them. So they're very arrogant about it. Reinhardt from the very beginning was because he literally created you. He knows your potential. That's why he never looked down on you. That's why he always treated you with respect and with love, because you're literally his children, despite clearly, like in his later stages of life, going a bit like, you know, off the deep end and a bit loony.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And yet
because
sitting on
you're
fucking
literally
hate.
his only chance of ever beating the quote-unquote overlord.
Wait, and yet he still managed to make me hate him.
Well, as
That's
he
the
said,
thing.
he went off
The
the deep
entire
end.
organization that he created, first of all, it is to fuck up with the overlord supporters and to basically make sure humanity doesn't die. The second function, which is only known to him and his two closest generals, basically Mercurius and Eleonora, is that the entire group's second purpose is to seek out strong humans who might one day be strong enough to kill the overlord, and basically test them and put them through hell, eventually even giving their own lives in order to make you stronger, so you
Oh.
can kill him.
My
They were
God.
Wait,
they were basically
Wait.
sacrificial lambs.
Wait,
Hang on.
wait, back up here. So basically Vendrick failed?
Yes.
Oh.
Wait,
Vendrick
hang on.
had to serve
accidentally did
another
the
purpose.
exact
When
opposite of what he
Reinhardt
wanted to
gave
do.
you that choice, he was honest with you about what you can expect. However, he didn't tell you that in order, you know, to beat the dragon, you need to be human. So Vendrick forsake his humanity in exchange for power. That basically told Reinhardt, yes, you are not worthy to fight the overlord, but you still have a use. I can still use you in order to seek out the worthy ones and you will become a sacrifice like the rest of us.
Wow. But
But what about
wait, hang
Yana?
on. Wait a second. Wait. That's why the very first time we met him and talked to him, he said to Iris, "It's good to see you again."
Yes, because
Because
he
we saw
already knows
each other.
that you met him.
Because we went back in the past and she
Yeah.
Would that have worked considering Alicia as was at the time of the campaign's ending marked by Grimma and using Grimma's power? Which
Yeah,
none of you knew, by the
interesting
way.
question, isn't it? Now, here's the thing. As soon as you guys were going to activate that white crystal, do you remember the crystal you got?
Yeah.
Yes.
You were going, actually, if you're in the game, I can show you pictures because that
I don't
I
actually
am in
remember.
the game.
Which
Sure,
which
1
white
second.
crystal?
the white
Refresh my
crystal
memory?
that you guys got from the shade, not the shade, from
Oni. Oni
the
ghost.
ghost Oni, do you remember?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
He
yeah.
sought you out for a very specific reason. He sensed that you helped an Oni that was being mind controlled by Grimma overcome it. That's why that ghost sought you out, because you literally did what he wants you to do. So basically, when you were going to activate that crystal, he was going to send you into the past, into when the demons were still in clans and stuff. And there was like, actually, wait, let me open up the lore real quick. Right. So first of all, it is a long forgotten. It is a fact long since forgotten. But the Oni were not always slaves. There was a time when they had their own traditions and tribes. One of them was blessed and protected by the dragon whelp Flamergosa, who loved the Chaos Storm children dearly. Sadly, the young dragon was overcome by madness and brought ruin to the children it loved dearly, erasing them from history. So, the Chaos Storm that they refer to from ancient times was basically Grimma when he used his breath attack, because he is a dragon of pestilence, decay, and death. So that was the Chaos Storm, and that's the thing that the Oni somehow managed to survive, but it scarred them forever. And Flamergosa, this dragon that you see corrupted in the picture, actually wait, you're not on the picture, was actually protecting the Oni until it got poisoned by Grimma as well. Oh yeah, you're on the picture, never mind. It got poisoned as well, so it turned on its own the other Oni. And the Oni had, not only could they not fight a dragon, they were, well, mind controlled, just very much in the same way that that girl, what's her name? Emilia, yeah, Emilia was. So basically that guy brought you here in order to fight this. So we keep going with the story. You basically go to an Oni village, that's the gist of it. A noble warrior who refused to abandon his duty even in death. The Oni left his tribe in search of heroes to aid them in their time of need. The warrior wandered long after the death of his tribe, until his determination was rewarded. Like in the first snippet of information that you were given, it described him as a deserter who ran away like a coward. But that was falsified information. Grimma basically, you know how all demon items have information? He falsified what the item said. He basically is that powerful. He can literally rewrite what is meant to be like untouchable information. So basically, when you guys join the fight, first of all, you're gonna get something Dark Souls styles. There is somebody there who can help you, and you can straight up, quote unquote, summon him as a white spirit. And by him, I mean her, because she has a new bio.
Check.
So yeah.
Wait. Okay, back up. Who the fuck is Tina Rayford?
You don't remember her?
Do you remember?
From the Isle?
No, like I remember the character being in the game, but like who and what is she really?
Well,
Yeah,
let's
what was
read
it
it.
at that time?
Strong, first of all, this is not her real form that you see in where you are in the memory. It's just a phantom, just a spirit form of her. A strong memory carved into the spirit realm itself. If the just seek a flight, let them be bathed in it. So basically, she left a mark of herself in there. So if you wish to summon her to help you, she will be there to support you. As for her bio, in the demon world, there is a great mage regarded as Magnus, a loose meaning for greatest, and is believed to be the father of magic. This is where the modern world Magus and Magi come for, the modern words Magus and Magi come for magic users. The great mage has only ever taken one student and taught them creation magic, an art since lost a long time ago. The student's power is only matched by her insatiable appetite for food. So if you remember with your conversation about Amelia,
Oh,
she
she's
told
the,
you that she
student.
is very strong and she mimics creation magic, but even she cannot use creation magic. Tina is the only one who was ever taught by the father of magic how to use creation magic. She can literally create everything with her bare hands.
Also,
Whoa.
goddamn you, there are all kinds of Demon Souls things in this, or like no Demon Souls, Dark Souls things in this fucking game.
Right. So after you managed to
discovered
beat
them early enough.
after you managed to beat Flamergosa and free the Oni in either by killing them or straight up breaking their horns and freeing them from their curse, you were going to be sent back to the present, but their spirits would once again visit you. First of all, you would, because you beat a part of Grima, you were going to level up without losing a part of your humanity. So you are going to become level 11. This is going to be your first experience of, wait, we can level up without demon souls. So after that, those guys were going to basically descend on you, and I had the Avengers theme basically going to be playing, called the first Dragon Slayers, and they were going to craft either a specific piece of armor from Dragonbone or a specific weapon from Dragonbone for you guys. That is basically going to be an attuned magical item specifically to you that you can use once per month, but it holds incredible power, and it was basically going to be one of the surefire ways where you can fight stronger demons on your own without armies.
Oh.
As for what the items would be branded with, an heirloom from the Dragon Slayers. While nothing is known about these ancient people, their legacy lives on as fearless warriors who dared to defy the dragons. When the Overlord came to power, he erased what little records remain of this great feat, and he himself went down in history as the first to slay a dragon. So basically, even though you guys were there with the Oni, and you technically became the first Dragon Slayers, that fact was forgotten because as you remember now, the Overlord has the moniker of being the first Dragon Slayer. He basically erased your feat from history and took it for himself.
That fuck.
Okay, wait.
Wow. Kill steal much?
Just
Kill
need
steal,
to
fuck
like, because I still didn't really get the question, answer to it. Like, how would all of this have affected Alicia, considering Alicia is marked by Grima and using Grima's power?
Well, basically, it depends on how the events would have been in order. If you have done this sooner, then you would have. If you have done this while you're still under the control of Grima and have the powers to cast magic that I'm assuming that nobody knows that I actually gave you that ability.
Well, now they know.
So
yes,
basically, you are going to be mind controlled, and there was a huge chance that they probably would have killed you. I doubt they could have done much to help you. Otherwise, if you had waited a bit longer, you would have found ways to deal with the curse and be able to purge it. But the other thing is that by doing this, you would have also been able to help Amelia and turn her into a permanent ally. Because as you know, when you last left her, she was struggling and still not feeling very well. This is because even though the horns were broken and her link was severed, she was still not cured from the mark that Grima left on her. As for why the Overlord became
so I would have
because, well, basically the quote-unquote Reinhardt's friend that became the Overlord, well, he's basically got controlled by Grima, and he became Grima's vessel. So, yeah, oh, this guy, he killed a dragon, look at him, he's so cool. Now let's just use that to take over the entire demon world. And since, oh, wait, that cheeky bastard Reinhardt has a plan to fucking kill me, let's go invade that world and kill those motherfuckers too.
But wait, so essentially Alicia would have served as a guinea pig for removing that particular curse?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
That being said, since we're doing, it sounds like so far we're doing our characters last.
If you're wondering how this curse would have been broken, well, by freeing that very powerful vampire girl, she would have done a lot to help you in more ways than you can imagine. She's not just very knowledgeable, she's very powerful, so she would have done a lot. Gordon would have done a lot as well. Like, basically all the masters would have done a lot of work to help you as well in order to break that curse.
That actually dovetails into... it might not have been obvious at the time to everyone why Alicia was willing to give up her freedom to free the vampire girl, but basically she was banking on the vampire girl being powerful enough to be worth it.
Because
And
your
even if
freedom.
she would have, even if she would have had to been her slave essentially, like it would still have been a powerful enough weapon to be worth it.
Because
Yeah,
at
she
that point your
definitely
freedom's
was.
already like compromised by the mark anyway.
You
Well,
say compromise, but guess
also
what?
is.
The mark did come with a lot of perks. Like CB is
Oh,
capable of
yes.
casting like a shit ton of spells.
Really fuck me.
Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna count how many spells I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It's a
6,
shame we
7,
never
8,
used those.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24,
Fuck
25,
me.
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
Now, here's
34,
the thing,
35,
he's keep
36,
counting, but
37,
here's something that you need to
38,
know.
39,
Unlike a normal magic
40,
caster who has slots,
41,
he does
42,
not have
43.
slots. All those spells he can cast freely
44.
once per day, or if he decides to take necrotic damage, he can cast them multiple times. So literally, if he wants, he can kill himself casting spells all day without stopping.
The flip side is
Jeez.
I have 45 spells, including teleportation circle, but I have nothing like above level 5 spells though.
That's still
But
powerful.
I do have stuff like Sleep Storm.
It's
No,
more
like,
spells than I do, and I'm a
So
caster.
like here's the thing, Alicia. The reason I didn't use it is
Oh, no,
like,
not
I did
Yana,
debate
but
using it at times,
Tatiana.
but the reason Alicia wouldn't use it readily is because the way Alicia thinks, she wouldn't reveal all of her abilities unless she absolutely fucking has to. So unless she was ever in a situation where she would, there was a risk of her dying. She wouldn't have done so. Like I was actually contemplating doing it during the cart chase until that turned into a meme, and then that the reasoning for that just evaporated.
Yeah, anyway, since we're doing our
By the way,
characters...
Ash, in case you're wondering for that demon girl that you helped out, because I was assuming that unlike the others, you weren't willing to kill her and such, and she eventually was gonna stick around and learn more about you. Chances were that eventually you were gonna get a special item from her. Remember when I said that killing a demon is not the only way to get an item? She was going to give you what is known as the Flame Emperor's Mantle. And yes, you can imagine a pretty fucking red cape with bushy fur on the sides, the
Fucking
type that you
awesome.
love. Basically, it gives fire resistance, vulnerability to water, and also, while you're wearing it, you can cast Burning Hands, Firebolt, Flaming Sphere, Fireball, Fire Shield, and Firewall.
Fucking cool. I would have wore that all the time.
I still think we should have killed her.
Shut up.
Well, then you would have gotten Phoenix down and basically have an instant revive.
Murder,
Wait, which
murder,
demon girl are we talking
murder.
about? Are we
The
talking
I'm talking
silent
about
one.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Valkyrie.
So, continuing the
Oh.
overall plot,
What the fuck is up with Logan?
yeah,
I mean-
Logan's part of the overall plot. Like, how
He's
does he...
Stealing the word in order to,
I know, but he
kill
went
the
like
Overlord.
crazy or something, right? What the fuck happened to him?
His wife died. Is I think the answer.
He
to
went
that.
crazy because his wife died?
No,
That's
hang
a
on,
pussy-ass
no, wait,
bitch reason.
guys. In other words, what's Logan's role in all this? Because he seems to have known more than he let on.
Oh,
And
he knew a ton more than you guys can imagine. Like, we should go back to the start. First of all, when he was part of Noble Moon, when Selena was still alive, basically, like everybody made a point of telling like how basically Selena is the one that gathered them and made them a family, right? She's basically the glue that kept everybody together. She, basically, the way Logan puts it, she always put her faith in people. I always put my faith in the mission. Logan was never trusting of others. He believed in their ideals and their goals and their mission. He never believed in others. That's why he always worked alone, even when Selena was around. And she always put her faith in others. So she always banded people together so they can face everything together. So during the time when the first portal opened and basically the warrior king gathered his army to fight, he wasn't fighting a neighboring kingdom, as you know. He was fighting the first demon invasion. That's when he died. In the meantime, Noble Moon was in the forest doing everything they can to close the portal. So while Noble Moon was fighting the rest of the demons, the only ones that made it to the portal were actually Selena and Logan. But they realized that they were all... Well, if you guys remember the blacksmith village, they basically got infected with some kind of disease that would end up killing them, right?
Yeah, I remember.
All of Noble Moon at that point was infected, along with the with the Warrior King's army. Everybody was infected, and they quickly realized that if they don't do something, even if they win the war right now, the humans that survive, the infection is gonna spread, and it's basically gonna kill the rest of humanity. So, by the way, that infection is again part of Grima. That's basically part of his plague.
Because he's pestilence.
So the demon blight is Grimma's
So,
plague.
here's what Selena did. Selena basically used the put on her necklace and used all of her power to cure Noble Moon. And then she went through the portal so she can destroy it from the inside, leaving Logan the only witness to what just happened. So later, when Logan returns to Noble Moon, he knew that Noble Moon's fine, but the but the Warrior King's army is infected. So even though the Warrior King's army survived the battle, Noble Moon had to go and finish them off, because it was already too late to save them. So Logan and his companions and all the masters went and killed the Warrior King and everybody that's loyal to them. But the one person that you know from that time, from Morgana, the most loyal general of the Warrior King, never found out about that, because if you remember, for the final battle, the Warrior King left her behind to do something else. Almost like he felt that this is just not going to end well, and he wanted somebody left behind after him to, well, you know, think of it 300 style, like remember us. Remember what happened here.
Let me guess, someone popped in and told him.
No, he just had a feeling.
I mean,
Straight up,
otherwise, it would have made sense that someone just popped in and said, you know, like, yes, you're gonna die. By the way, but by doing so, you're gonna, you know, save the world.
Nope.
And that's how Nobleman got his thing.
That was straight up his instincts kicking in. That something is just not right about this.
And that's how the Noble Moon got their reputation as well, then, I suppose.
No, that's not how they got it. They were always supportive of the Warrior King, and the Warrior King's stand on Ovia was, Ovians are pieces of shit. Let's fucking slap them about silly until they fuck off, because I don't want to deal with them. He united the three kingdoms through their hate for both the Sarkanian sovereignty and the Ovian Empire, because in his eyes, they were both fucking twats that wanted world domination. Fuck them both.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That actually dovetails into
That's
my
really
next
fucking
question.
rude, by the way. I'll have you know that our holy light is great.
When I said that the Olvean Church is actually worshipping and or run by a demon.
Well, you know who your daddy is, so yeah.
Wait, are they worshipping right?
Like, there are quote-unquote human gods, but in reality, those are just humans who have slain dragons and have ascended because their power does not allow them to remain in the physical realm. But overall, in your world and in the other world, there is technically only one god, and that's Reinhardt, because he's the one that made you.
Okay, wait, so there are no actual gods.
The closest you can come to gods are basically the first three male dragons. They are the one, the first three male dragons. One of them you met in the forest. He is the dragon of life and rebirth. Grima is the dragon of death and decay. Basically the cycle of life, birth and death. And the third dragon that is dead and you guys never met is the dragon of evolution and progress.
Oh,
that is why the demons are so imperfect, because the dragon had no play in their creation. At that point, he was already dead. So the only dragons that were alive to give birth to the dragon race were basically Grima and the other dragon of life and rebirth. So when they gave birth to dragons, they were imperfect. And those imperfect dragons in turn gave birth to all the other demon races that were even more imperfect. So when Grimot came back and saw all the fucking degenerates and bullshit happening without his permission, he got furious. These things are imperfect. These things are disgusting. They're an insult to existence. I'm going to kill all of them and start the cycle from the beginning to make perfect beings.
Wait, so Grim is basically working on
He's basically the world ender. He ends everything so that new life can begin.
That being said, though, What
I'm
about
just
the
imagining Grimmer coming back and seeing a bunch of those.
What the fuck
You
is
know
this
the-
shit?
It's a fucking dragon!
More like an ancient wyvern.